Welcome to this presentation of the EVF registration software for the Hamburg 2022 event. To start registering your team for the event, surf to the veteransfencing.eu website and then click on the calendar button in the center or on the calendar menu option at the top. This will list all the upcoming events, and then we scroll down a little bit to see the European Veterans Championships in May. There's a register button there. If I click on that register button, it will take me to a login screen where I can enter the credentials that were supplied to me by the EVF. Login, and then it will load the application. I have to wait for all the event data to be loaded, and then it will display the overview screen. The overview screen shows me a list of all the competitions that are being held at this event, and it starts in the left column with the men's EP teams and the men's EP teams Grand Veterans. Then we have the same set for the men's foil Grand Veterans, the men's saber, followed by the women events EP, foil and saber. Then we have a column listing the support roles like team coach, physio, team armor, etc. And we have 3 columns in this case for the example side events that I will explain later on. In the lower part we see a listing of the organizer roles like DT, referees, and a listing of official roles, but it's not important at this point. I go to the registration application by clicking on the registration tab at the top, and then it will load the initial registrations. The registration screen shows me that I'm the head of delegation of Testonia, and it displays a search box. When I enter a letter in the search box, it will list me all the fencers that have this letter in their last name. So I have 2 fencers with an A in their last name. I apparently have no fencers that have a B in their last name, and I have a few fencers that have a D in their last name. If your fencer is not listed in this search results, you can click on the Add New Fencer button. This will open a dialog where you can add a new fencer with a new date of birth. And if I click on Save, it will be listed in my search results. If this information is not correct, I can click on the pencil icon to update the data for this fencer. And again, click on Save, and it will be updated in the database. If you happen to add a fencer that already exists in the database, you will get an informational pop-up displaying that this fencer already exists for a different country. Now there are 2 options. If this fencer is really a new fencer that just happens to have the same date of birth, you can click on the Save button and a new fencer will be created. If this listed fencer is indeed the same fencer as the one you wanted to add, you need to contact the EVF to have the country designation changed to your country, and then you can select it later on. I'll click on Cancel now and go back to registration. Now I'm going to register my teams by selecting various fencers, and I start with as well a tester, woman category 4, and I'm going to select the first event, women's EP. The events are listed on date, so the women's EP event is the first one to be held. You can see that as well a tester now listed under all participants with a red background, and you can see in the role column that she participates in the women's EP team Grand Veterans. The red background is because the team for as well a tester is not complete yet, so I'm going to add a few more fencers to this team. And Cis Demosis, women's EP fencer, and I'm going to add demo. I have 2 demo fencers, and one is a woman, it's also a women's EP. Now you can see that the red background has disappeared of all my 3 fencers, and if I scroll down I can open the Women's Epée Grand Veterans listing, and I can see all members of my team. And I can scroll up again, open the all participant list. You can see that the demo last name fencer that I entered just now is also listed but has no roles. It's because I interacted with this fencer recently, and you may want to select different tournaments for that fencer. It will disappear when you reload the page. I am going to enter a men's team as well. First I'm going to add this demo last name fencer. And this is not a Grand Veterans but just a regular Veterans team event. This is going to be a men's saber event. They all participate on the same day. And again you can see the red background for this fencer because the team is not complete yet. I'm going to add demo to this men's saber team event. And some other here, Charlie Test Me. This is the 3rd member of the team, and you can see that the red background still displayed behind the names. It's because this men's team event now consists of, if I open the listing, it consists of 3 category 1 fencers, and you need at least 1 category 2 fencer. And to do that I add the tester men's saber, and now the backgrounds are all white. I have a complete team of 4 participants. As you can see in the second to last column after the roll column, there are crosses and photograph icons. These indicate the accreditation photo status of these fencers. There can be 4 statuses. One is the green photograph icon, green camera icon. That's the one you want. This is when you have an accreditation picture that was approved by the organization. You can also have a blue icon, it's listed over here for demo. This is when you have uploaded an accreditation photo but it was not yet approved or disapproved. This icon can also become red, in which case you need to replace the picture. If there's a large cross, then this fencer does not have an accreditation photo yet. You can upload photos by clicking on the chevron icon and scrolling down, and here I can click on the choose file option, where you can select an image from your disk to upload. In case of as well a tester, I already uploaded the picture, in which case it's a Minecraft picture, and apparently the organization approved this picture. And in case of demo, there it is, logo image, which was apparently not yet approved or disapproved. In the end, you want to have all green camera icons here in this listing, so that badges can be generated. You may also want to bring some additional team support members. For example, I want to bring lastly a test, which will not participate in the Grand Veterans tournaments, but I can select support roles next to that. For example, this person will be a coach, and also the head of delegation, and maybe also the team armorer. If you want to remove a role, you can select the role none, and then it will be cleared. Then I can click on the close button, and you will see that the person appears in the all participants list with the roles coach and team armor. As you can see, this person has a red camera icon, which means the picture that I uploaded for this person was not approved by the organization. We need to choose a different picture for the accreditations. People can also participate in so-called side events, of which I've listed a few. These are example side events. They are listed below the regular competitions. In this case, example gala dinner, and the example referee congress, and an example excursion to a historical site. The description below it will list the costs involved for participating in this event, and you can select any event this person wants to participate in, just like for regular tournaments, and it will be listed in the rules section as well. So I'm going to select some people to participate in the gala dinner. This is not related to the events they actually participate in. This is just a personal choice. The final tab to look at is the Cache tab. This is for Heads of Delegation specifically. I click on that, the data is loaded, and then I can see what kind of costs are involved for participating in this event. I have two teams, one Women's Epic Grand Veterans and one Men's Saber team, and the fee for participation is 300 euros for each team. And then I have a few people that want to participate in specific events. They're called competitions here. This is the example gala dinner, EGD, and this person here also wants to participate in the example referee congress. The example gala dinner will cost 50 euros per person, and the example referee congress will cost an additional 10 euros, and these costs have to be paid by the people themselves, and the team costs have to be paid as a group. All these costs in this case have to be paid to the heads of delegation, and the head of delegation then can pay the cost to the organization. The payment details for the organization are listed below under payment details, so that the head of delegation can transfer the correct amount to the organization. The transferable group cost, the cost that you actually need to transfer still, is listed as in the second row. The total group cost of all the events listed on this page is the top line, and then we have a listing here that says receivable group cost. This interface here allows you to mark which payments have been received by the head of delegation, not by the organization but by the head of delegation. So I can mark an event here and say I've received all the costs for the Women's Epic Grand Team's veterans participation. Then you can see that the receivable group cost has been diminished by 300 euros. And I can say that lastly a test has transferred their payments, and as well a tester has also transferred their payments. You can see the receivable group cost being reduced. The transferable group cost remains 810 euros. This is the amount that you need to transfer as head of delegation to the event organization for participation. Now, after checking all this cache information and having selected your registrations, I can go back to the overview, where I can see a new line here entered for Testonia. There's one men's saber team with 4 participants and one women's epic team with 3 participants, and there are 4 people participating in the gala dinner, and there's 1 person participating in the referee congress. And this is the example side event that was free of charge, so it was not listed in the cache tab, but there's 1 person that wants to go to the historical site as well. This concludes the presentation of this event registration application. If you want to log out in the end, you can do so by going to the organization menu option at the top, clicking on the members only button there, and this will have a logout option here at the end, but logging out is not required. Thanks for watching. Good luck with registering your teams. If you have any questions or need assistance, please do not hesitate to ask it. My email address is webmaster@veteransfencing.eu, and I hope you can work this all out.